When Cade goes out of the game, really makes it hard for the Pistons to run their offense. There's not really a guy since Ivey is gone that can take his man off the dribble and get to the paint.
What up, though, Pistons fans? Welcome back to another episode. So, the Pistons lose tonight to the Cavaliers on the road, and this game is still going on, but it's over. I'm not even watching anymore. It's a few minutes left, and it's a wrap. They waved the white flag, they emptied the bench, game is over. And by the way, I lost my voice a little bit tonight, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to give you what I got. So, tough loss tonight. The Pistons fall to 23-23 on the regular season. And the Cavs, who currently have the best record in the league at 37-9, were coming off 3 straight losses. 2 of those were back-to-back to the Houston Rockets, who the Pistons just beat a week ago. So I fully expected Cleveland tonight to come into this game on a mission. The Cavs also have the #1 offense in the league, so I knew the Pistons were going to have to be sharp defensively to have a shot. Tobias did return tonight to action, so it was good to see him back on the court. Good to see he didn't sustain anything serious. The Pistons, on the other hand, have now lost 11 straight games to the Cavs overall, and that is the longest active streak amongst any 2 teams in the NBA. Initial thoughts, right? Coming into this game, I was hoping to see a low-scoring game. Right, I wanted the Pistons to try to dictate pace because they did not want to get in the shootout with this team. And early in this game, I felt like they did that. I felt like they tried to set the tone early in this game. Their offense wasn't great. Both teams actually missed a lot of shots in this game, but defensively, both are pretty good. So to start this game, there was a heightened sense of emphasis on defense for both of these teams tonight, which is why I think both teams were missing shots. And that happens sometimes when you exert a little bit more effort defensively. It can affect your legs, and your shots can come up a little short, and you can see that tonight. And honestly, with this game, I could go a bunch of different directions as to why I thought they lost this game, but there's only 1 or 2 things that really stood out to me in this game. So let's get straight to the box, and then we'll get right into it. Cade Cunningham tonight, 22 points, 7 assists, 3 boards, 2 turnovers on 9 for 26 shooting, 0-4 from 3, 4-4 from the free throw line in 33 minutes. Guys, Cade is tired, man. Cade is getting tired. This is the 3rd straight game where he has shot about 30% from the field overall and has not shot it well from 3. And for those who watched the game, for those who have watched the last few games now, it is very clear to you, as it is to me, that Cade is struggling as of late because he does not have his backcourt mate with him. He is severely missing Jaden, man. And that's not a shot at Tim Hardaway at all. The Cavs tonight, like most teams, they blitz Cade all night, oftentimes as soon as he crosses half court. And they can do that because the Pistons don't have another ball handler and playmaker on the court alongside him. If teams do that with Jaden on the court, he's going to make them pay. And he did so time and time again until he went down. So it's really affecting Cade's space and his freedom to really get to what he wants to get to. And because he knows he has to shoulder more of the load offensively, it's forcing him to do things that he wouldn't normally want to do. It's forcing him to take tougher shots. He had to work so much harder for his offense tonight. And on top of that, because there's no Jaden available to slide to the 1, as I mentioned before, Cade is often forced to come back into the game early because the offense, once again, was stagnate with no true point guard on the floor. And that's why Cade looks so tired. It's demoralizing for him because he knows that the other team knows how to defend them without another ball handler on the court with him. So when he sits down, he's watching the scoreboard. And oftentimes he's coming right back into the game not long after he came out because the other team has gone on a run. This is also why I thought that before the season started, that there was no question about who was going to start alongside Cade between Jaden Ivey and Malik Beasley. Because even though Malik is a better shooter than Jaden, one of the best shooters in the league hands down, Cade is at his best when he has a secondary ball handler or playmaker on the court who can make the defense pay if you double Cade. And that's what J.I. does for you. And it was blatantly obvious that the Cavs were aware of that, and that was the game plan. Make everybody else outside of Cade beat you. We're going to get more into that later. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, on 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3 in 31 minutes. So not a great game, not a terrible game from Tim. Once again, he took shots within the flow of the offense, only 8 shots. He normally has less than 10 shots a game, which means he's not taking bad shots, taking shots within the flow. And tonight he did that. He missed a few shots that he normally would make, but I'm not too concerned about Tim. He was solid. Tobias Harris struggled, man. Tobias Harris had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, on 1 for 9 shooting, 0-4 from 3 in 27 minutes. So he did not play well at all. This was one of the down games for Tobias. He really struggled tonight to really get anything going. I don't know if he's still trying to get into a rhythm after missing the second half. I don't know if he's still having headaches or what, but tonight he just did not have it going tonight. It was not a good game for him. And he wasn't the only one. The starters as a whole did not score well. Asar Thompson being one of those guys. He didn't score tonight. 0 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3 in 20 minutes. So he has been cleared to play as many minutes as needed, but tonight he only played 20, and he just was out of sync tonight. It looked like the Cavs tonight really wanted to make sure that they gave him as many open shots as he wanted, right? They understand that he is not a good shooter, and they were going to force him to come to them, which is the paint, to try to get his offense going, and he was not able to do it. And they were leaving him wide open They were leaving him on an island for threes, and he was not able to knock them down. His confidence right now with the shot seems to be affecting him, and that's something he's just going to have to work through. But bad game for a few of our guys tonight. This was just not a night tonight. Finally, Jalen Duren, 12 points, 15 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers, on 6 for 10 shooting, 0-2 from the free throw line in 29 minutes. JD activity-wise was all over the place tonight. His activity was sky high, right? He was cleaning the boards. He was all over the offensive glass, especially in that first half, creating extra possessions, tap outs, things like that. He was sprinting down the court on both ends of the court, allowing him to get easy buckets. And he played really big on the boards. Going against Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, when your power forward is Tobias Harris, who's undersized at the 4, it's going to be tough. And he was battling in the trees all night long. I think that gets missed sometimes, is how good defensively Cleveland's front court is. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley are both very, very tall and very, very long. It is hard to score on those guys. But JD played to his strength. He played strong because he's stronger than both of those guys, right? So he really was throwing his body around, really making his presence felt. I've said it before too, but JD has bought into his role, and it's paying dividends for the Pistons. But he did, once again, have some unforced turnovers when he was doing things that I've said in the past I don't want any of our bigs to do, which is handling the basketball. He had an errant lob pass to Asar in the first quarter when he grabbed the rebound and tried to push the ball down the court. And he had a few of those tonight, and that's not what I want to see him doing. I want to see him focusing on what he does best for this team. Not trying to push the ball up the court off of a rebound. Get the ball to your guards and let them do what they do best. And tonight, whenever he did that, he was very, very effective. And when he didn't, he was not. So that's my only thing for JD. He did have some mental breakdowns defensively tonight, but overall he played a very solid game. I just want to see him continue to focus on what he does best. And if he does that, he'll be a very solid big for this team. Let's get to the bench. Malik Beasley had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover on 6 for 11 shooting, 5 for 8 from 3 in 23 minutes. So Beasley, once again, man, he's always right in that 17 to 19 point range, it seems like, every game. His shot selection seems to be pretty much the same every game. And his percentage, for the most part, seems to be the same pretty much every game. Mr. Consistent. He is trying to do more offensively because we don't have a true point guard on the court when Cade is gone. And he's done fairly well with that, right? It's not ideal because we still do need a backup point guard desperately. But he's filled in admirably trying to make plays for others without trying to do too much and turning the ball over. So I got to give him credit. And he's one of those guys that will really try to do whatever it takes to help this team win. Simone Fontecchio. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on 2 for 6 shooting, all 3 from 3. So let me give Fontecchio credit because he always comes into the game and plays really solid defense, right? He moves his feet well. He's physical. He plays pretty disciplined for the most part defensively. I don't really have any issues with him defensively. For him, offensively, as I've said many times, it's all about playing within your scope. He was 0 for 3 tonight from 3, but whenever he's catching and shooting, that's when he's at his best, coming off screens and getting shots up. And he usually struggles when he tries to put the ball on the floor. We've talked about this a million times, right? But tonight, in the past few games, it really hasn't been his fault. Because he's also a guy that needs somebody to get him shots. He needs somebody to get him the ball. He needs somebody to know where he likes the ball. And not having a point guard on the floor who is looking for him or who knows how to orchestrate the offense for themselves and others makes it hard for him sometimes to be able to get shots off. So a lot of times he's left with the ball in his hands with a few seconds left, and then he has to try to make something happen. And that happened tonight. So I'm not too upset with him tonight because he was trying to just stick to what he does best. He just couldn't knock down shots tonight. Isaiah Stewart has 6 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 turnovers on 3 for 3 shooting, 0-1 from the free throw line in 16 minutes. So once again, Isaiah Stewart did what Isaiah Stewart does. The consistency that Beasley gives you offensively is what Stu gives you defensively. And that's why I think both of those guys are really good together off the bench, because having a steady presence off the bench to either hold the lead or build on the lead is something you really want to have. And those two guys bring both of those things, consistency. So it doesn't always look pretty, but Isaiah Stewart is very, very effective at what he does. Didn't miss a shot tonight. But once again, Stu also was forced into doing things outside of his scope because the Pistons just don't have a point guard to get him the ball for easy shots. There was a play in the second half where he was at the 3-point line and tried to go into the post and lost the ball. That's not what he normally is asked to do, right? So the domino effect of not having a playmaker on the floor when Cade goes out stretches to everybody. It stretches to Beasley, to Isaiah Stewart, Fontecchio. Everybody is affected by not having a backup point guard to run the offense for you. Lastly, Marcus Sasser. Sasser had 11 points, 5 assists on 4 for 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1-on-1 from the free throw line in 19 minutes. So let me say this. Sasser was solid tonight, right? 11 points and 5 assists. That looks good on paper, and I'm not taking anything away from him. But when he comes into the game for Cade, the offense continues to sputter. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault because he's a scoring guard. He's not a guard that I expect to come into the game, set the table offensively, along with getting his own. And many times when he has the ball, if he's not able to initially get his own offense, he moves the ball and then the ball stagnates because there's really no one else on the floor with him that can run the offense and set up teammates. So basically you're left with Beasley or Tobias trying to go ISO, and that's not their game. So the defense can stay home and not double team, and the Pistons are just left ball watching as the shot clock runs low. It's not a situation as to where you try to run an action, it's not there, so you get the ball back to Sasser as your point guard to run another set or initiate offense. The ball's not coming back to him because he's not that guy, and he's been asked to be that guy, and that's not fair to him. So today is January 27th, and the trade deadline is February 6th. So hopefully between now and then, the Pistons can find themselves a backup point guard to run the offense when Cade sits down. Or give Dennis Jenkins, my guy who I've been campaigning for a while, give him a shot. Which brings me to Bobby Klintman. Where in the world is Bobby Klintman? We could really use Bobby Klintman right now, man. He's been listed as available for a few weeks now, yet he's only seen the court once in garbage time. So I don't know why the Pistons are not using him or playing him. Maybe he still needs time to get up to speed on both ends. But at this point, with the Pistons desperately needing playmaking off the bench, I don't see why you don't give him a shot. So here's what I would do. Put my GM hat on for a second. The Pistons need a backup point guard bad, right? We understand that. This is what I would do. And hear me out. If Trajan Langdon can be convinced that somebody like Lonzo Ball can give him 15 minutes a night off the bench, just 15 minutes, I'm looking to acquire him for Simone Fontecchio. By the way, shout out to my guy Pistons Jack. He proposed this earlier on Twitter during the game. But I'm making that move, or a move like that. It doesn't have to be Lonzo. I understand if you're worried about the injury history. Okay, I get it. But if I can get a true point guard that can run the offense and play solid defense for 15 minutes, I'm making that move, and I'm giving Bobby Klintman all of the minutes that Simone Fontecchio has. That move right there gives you all the playmaking you need for your second unit. Because Bobby Klintman, who's 6'9", can also make plays for you, unlike Fontecchio, who's at his best when he's catching and shooting. That move alone will give the Pistons so much more balance and unpredictability. And even more important, it allows Cade to rest and not have to come back into the game because the game is getting away. But what did you guys see in tonight's game that I may have missed? Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. On the bright side, it's probably a good thing the Pistons didn't win because you don't have to hear me singing Detroit basketball in this crazy voice. Appreciate you hanging with your boy. And as always, Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
Rewind 2021. There was a parade in my city. #1 pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the grid. Cade arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B.
No shade.
When he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him washed when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it really, Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Dudes went #1 for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Wembanyama.
Cade Cunningham.
He was raised a Texan, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade.
Forgot about Cade. They forgot about Cade. Forgot about how you forget about Cade.